Alright, number 12 here, what we can do is if you have a calculator, you should be able to plug this in and just get your answer right away. Let's assume you don't. Your best bet is to rewrite this as a radical expression with 3 goes in here, and then this number goes here like that. So I'm going to square the whole thing, okay? Now, it's up to you which one you do first. You could take the cube root of 1 over 125, or you can square it and then take the cube root. It's totally up to you. I think it's easier to do the cube root first, which would end up giving me 1 over 5. Now I still have to square that. Go ahead and do that, and I get 1 over 25, because 1 squared is 1, 5 squared is 25. And I'm finished with that problem. Now this next one asks us to simplify the expression by combining like radical terms. Looking here, if the radical is the same, like the square root of 7, I can combine them. Unfortunately, the square root of y is not the same, so I can't combine it. I literally just do 3 minus 6, which will give me negative 3, okay? And then square root of 7 comes along. This is exactly the same as if I were to write 3x minus 6x, and you get minus 3x. Okay, just pretend square root of 7 is x. That's all I gotta do. This is not the same, so I just write it like that, and I'm finished. That's my answer. Now, this next one is asking us to multiply and simplify here. So what I want to do is just FOIL this out. Okay? So I'm going to get 7 times 7, which is 49. 7 times the square root of 5, which is this that. Another 7 square root of 5. And then last but not least, a square root of 25. Okay? So combine my like terms, simplify my radical. Square root of 25 becomes 5. I add these together because they have the same radical. It gives me 14 square root of 5 plus 49. Now notice 49 and 5 are both numbers. I can add them together. That will give me a final answer of 54 plus 14 square root of 5. I can't combine them. I'm finished. Now, the next problem is asking us to solve the quadratic equation by using the definition of square root. The definition of square root says you have to have the thing that's squared by itself. If I look over here, this 2, this one here that I just circled, is not part of the squared stuff. So I need to get rid of it first. Well, how do I get rid of it? Divide by it. So it goes away there, and it goes away over here. So I'm left with y plus 1 squared is equal to 75. Now from here I could take the square root of both sides of my equation. I'm going to do that. Why do I do that? So I cancel that 2 there. So I get plus minus square root of 75 on the right. On the left I just get whatever's under there, y plus 1. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to now solve by minusing the 1 over here. I can't put it with that. So I get y equals negative 1 plus minus square root of 75, like that. Now I need to check, can I break down the square root of 75? Yes. There's a perfect square hiding in there. Minus 1 plus minus 25 times 3. Well, what's the square root of 25? 5. This becomes 5 root 3 plus minus minus 1. Copied everything else. That's my final answer to this problem. We have a couple more like these. Okay. This next one is kind of interrupting it. It's asking us to solve the quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. As far as I know, your teacher will give it to you on the test. Here it is anyway. And you go through and you label A, B, and C. And the signs come with it. So, in this case, my minus B, well, B is already a minus, so it becomes a positive. 20 plus minus the square root of negative 20 squared minus 4 times negative 4 times negative 25 all over 2 times negative 4. Now, working this out, I know with 20 plus minus the square root of 400 minus 400 all over negative 8. This is going to cancel. Whenever that cancels, the plus minus goes away. Okay? So I end up with 20 over negative 8. And I can simplify that by 4 on the top and the bottom. And so I end up with the final answer of negative 5 over 2. And that's it. That's all you got to do for that problem. In some cases, you can get one answer. Most of the time you'll get 2 answers, but sometimes you get 1. Don't think you did it incorrectly because you got 1 answer. Alright, this next problem here, same as before, but notice our y squared is not by itself. So I'm going to divide by the 4 to get rid of that. So I get y squared is equal to 28. Now from here I go ahead and I take the square root of both sides. And that cancels that. So y equals plus minus square root of 28. Now I want to check, can I simplify that? Is there a perfect square hiding in that 28? Yes, there is. 4. Change this to be 4 times 7. Well, what's the square root of 4? 2. 2 square root of 7 is left over. And that's my answer. Now I'm finished. Move on to the last couple here. Okay. This one is asking us to solve the quadratic equation by using the definition of square root. Just like that first one we did, except there's nothing on the outside. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the square root. Boom, boom. Cancel that. I'm left with 3y plus 21 equals the square root of 27 plus minus. Almost forgot that. Now, what I want to do is I want to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract the 21. Subtract the 21. I get 3y equals minus 21 plus minus the square root of 27. Now I divide by 3. Now I got that, but I need to think about 27. Can I break that down? Yes. 27 is going to be 9 times 3, okay? So this ends up being, I'm actually going to bring this down here. Don't worry about this problem. And I get minus 21 plus minus, this becomes 9 times 3, all over 3, which becomes, when I take the square root of 9, I get 3 root 3, like that, over 3. Now, I know earlier I told you in that one problem at the beginning not to divide, but that was because your bottom had 2 things, like it had like an x plus. You can't do that, okay? But this just has 3, so I can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide each of these by the 3. Well, this cancels out completely, and I'm left with just the square root of 3. Over here, I get negative 7. And this is my final answer for this problem. Now, go on to number 19, very easy. Go ahead and just square root this, boom, boom. Just like that one we did previously, except we didn't have to divide anything. So I get y equals plus minus square root of 44. And I end up with trying to break this down. Y equals plus minus 4 times 11. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 square root 11. And I'm done. Finished with that one. Now, I want to thank you for watching this test review, and good luck on this test, and good luck on your final as well. Hopefully you'll come to my final exam review, which will be next week, so that you can get this, out of the way. And I have 2 of them, so, more than enough to accommodate you, hopefully, so that you don't have to worry about, doing so bad on your final.